We are back with another monster. Cover my face.
Monster is just
Look at that bad boy.
They keep on dropping bombs. I'm excited to try this one. Peaches and cream.
This is in the reserve lineup. It is peaches and cream, as Justin just said. Monster has nailed peach flavored things pretty much every time they've done one.
Every time
they've done one. This is exciting. 120 calories. This is not a sugar-free lineup.
Nope.
So there are 32 grams of sugar. It's a lot of sugar. That's okay. We also got riboflavin. Niacin, vitamin B6, and vitamin B12 complexes. I mean, you've seen Monster. We've tried Monster 100 times. What else is there to say? Let's crack this open.
Let's do it.
I'm expecting this to be fire.
I mean,
they nail peaches
and cream
every time.
You can't really go wrong, especially when Monster's making it. Beautiful color.
Before we smell it,
okay,
I'm expecting it should smell like a peach ring. Because those are peaches.
Okay, I'm expecting a little cream on that nose.
Well, I mean, peaches. The peach rings are half peach and half cream, technically.
I already got a slight whiff, so let's do this.
Ooh.
You know what? You were nailing it again. Is the Nick with the peach rings? Because that's what it smells like.
It smells exactly like a fucking peach ring.
It does. If I open a pack.
Oh, they're so good.
That's what this smells like.
Hey, before we try this, if you haven't seen, we had Tim Beatty back in the studio recently, trying another drink from him.
Fire guy.
It is so good. Tim's an absolute sweetheart. Love having him on. So if you haven't checked that video out, I highly suggest going and checking that out.
We have a whole playlist, so go ahead and watch every video Tim's been on.
Absolutely.
He's a great guy to have on the show.
Yeah, absolutely. Very good perspective. Anytime we have, we've had Asher on, we've had Tim on. Anytime we have a brewer on, somebody who's in the craft and creates, we get a good perspective. They can break down how this drink would work and what I would do and how I did it. And it's very good information to have.
Yeah, I love hearing how they kind of work around those scents or the flavors we're tasting. They can kind of break down what we're going through when we're drinking that. It's really cool to hear someone who's actually crafting that and can break it down for you. Absolutely. It's really awesome.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, all right,
Monsters, peaches and cream.
It smells like peach rings.
It smells so good.
It does. Let's do it. Whoa.
Whoa. Way more cream.
A lot of cream, dude.
It is good, bro. It almost tastes like
peach is very.
It's almost like a orange creamsicle-esque, but if it was peach instead of orange.
Yes.
It's very good. It's very
tart.
It is good.
It's tart.
Yeah. Which is as a nice counterbalance to the cream.
It is. I was not expecting such a tart hit on that back end.
Man, that's good. I will say,
heavy though. It's heavy.
I was just gonna say it's weighty. I don't think I could do a 16-ounce can of that.
You know, I would agree with you again.
It's delicious, but I mean, if they had that in a 12-ounce can all day.
Yeah, I mean, you would drink this can all day. It's heavy.
Yeah. Well, yeah, literally.
It's so sweet and just a very heavy flavor, but again, it's also got that light characteristic to it. It's very tart at the end, but that sugar really
it's got kind of the full spectrum of balance. It's like,
yeah,
this is the best analogy I can make. It's like when you try something that is Chinese or Japanese food and it's got that like umami flavor where you're like, ooh, it's just salty and savory. It's like that, but on the other end of the spectrum. It's very sweet and creamy, but they also balance that very well with tartness. It is very good. It definitely tastes like it has 32 fucking grams of sugar in it.
Yes.
Sure. So if you're a sugar-free boy, maybe not the one for you. Maybe not the one for you. If you do drink sugar-free regularly like I do, I rarely drink non-sugar-free. I will. Sometimes I'll grab a grape nos or or a green nos or I'll dabble in some of the other monsters. 98% of the time I drink sugar-free.
Once in a while. Yeah, I'm like, you know what? That fucking grape nos sounds good.
Treat myself,
Yes.
But because I drink sugar-free most of the time, this hits hard. Like, it's very sweet. So if you are a sugar-free boy, be aware of that.
Beware, but it does.
But it's delicious. It's delicious.
As if it's almost a sugar-free flavor.
It's really good.
It's really light and creamy, frothy.
Yeah.
It says no juice, tea, coffee, or any tweaks to the energy blend. Monster Reserve is a straight-up original Monster in new amazing flavors. It's the ideal combo to the right ingredients in the right proportion to deliver the big bad buzz that only Monster can. Monster Reserve packs a powerful punch, but has a smooth, easy drinking peaches and cream flavor. Athletes, musicians, anarchists,
Well, they nailed 2 of them.
co-eds, road warriors, metalheads, geeks, hipsters, and bikers dig it.
Well, just
You
say
will too.
everybody. I mean, at that point,
everybody.
you labeled everyone. Just say everyone would enjoy this. That
You should-
you use so
everyone.
many words.
Everyone.
You didn't need
that's
that
a
many
whole
words.
Paragraph. That's a whole paragraph. Everyone will enjoy this. It'll work just fine.
You know, in the past, years ago, and I do mean years ago. I've said this before. I'm pretty sure I've said it on this show. I've definitely said it on mine. I don't like Original Monster. It is one of the last. It is
honestly don't either.
It is a founding father of energy drinks. I respect that. I understand that, but it is one of my least favorite energy drinks. And years ago, when they first started hitting with flavored ones, they were hit and miss. For the last 3 years,
Dude.
minimum 3 years, Monster continues to knock their flavors out of the park. They're sugar frees, they're ultra range, they're all pretty good. There's a couple that I like, obviously prefer over others, but all of the ultras are good. All of the juice based ones are good. Most of the reserve ones are good. Like Monster is really nailing whoever their R&D department is. That's like, hey, figure out this flavor. We want a peaches and cream. Go hit the gym. Figure out what it is. Bring it back to us. They're nailing it. So kudos to whoever's on the Monster team.
Yeah.
This is another one that it says peaches and cream, and brother, you could be blindfolded. This is fucking peaches and cream.
Yeah, I was exactly going to say that same thing. Whoever's creating these flavors is nailing it.
Yeah, nailing it.
Like 99% of the time. I think there's only been one that I've been like, but that's been years ago.
Yeah, that's
Like,
what I'm saying.
Every single flavor has just been like, wow.
Not only-
now I can't wait to see what's next on their roster to release to you.
Not
to the
only
public.
are they always good, but they always taste like what they say they are.
Yes, that's the big
Which
deal.
sometimes the
Big
drink is
deal.
really good, but you're like, this is good, and I would drink it, but it doesn't taste fucking anything like what it says it is.
Exactly.
Or vice versa. It tastes like what it says it is, but it is not very good.
Yeah, it's not very good. But it is what it is.
Monster's got it. Matter of fact, Monster's got it so nailed and figured out at this point that their fucking hard alcoholic drinks, which you would think is the riskiest ones to be good,
Right.
are a fucking one to one. They are so good. So kudos to Monster Energy. Whoever's running that team, they give a shit about their product. They're doing a good job. Although, drop some smaller fucking cans. I know you make them because I've seen them in the dollar stores before in the past.
They make a array
Dude,
of smaller cans.
I've even seen ones that are like this big.
They make the smaller cans, the 19.2s, the 12s, the 8s. They have all.
But
even the big BFCs.
Yep. But
BFC.
they don't offer them regularly in most retail places. Like you can get a big one
Yes.
or a
it's
16 ounce
hard
can
to find.
everywhere.
There's certain stores where you walk in, they have like 2 monster coolers, and you're like, well, what fucking
They're
size
all
do I want
16 ounce
today?
cans, maybe a big
16s,
can.
They have the big cans, and then up top they have the 19.2s. See, you're like, what? And then they now have those 12ers. Mm-hmm. The 12s, which are really cool.
Yep.
So if you're like, you know what? It's the end of the day. I just need something to get me towards to the finish. And you can get a 12-ounce ultra red or a regular.
I was just gonna say I've bought the ultras many times at like the Dollar Tree or the GO grocery outlet where like I'm like, oh fuck, they have 12-ounce ultras.
Yeah.
That's fucking sick, and I scoop a bunch of them.
Those are sick.
And I love it.
Because you don't have to commit to a 16.
I was gonna say I catch myself, as much as I like a lot of their stuff, I catch myself not leaning towards Monster or buying Monster because I'm like 16-ounce cans are just difficult for me. It's the same with like Ghost. I still to this day I pretty much drink at least one energy drink a day. That's me.
I'm the same way. Dude.
I'm an insomniac. I can go 3 days without sleeping pretty regularly. It fucking sucks. So I need caffeine to get me through the day.
I sleep every night, and I wake up. I wake up, have a cup of coffee or 2, and then I have a Monster. Like that's how every day for me works. And I love that Monster in the morning. The ultra white, fucking day breaker.
I drink
right
energy drinks regularly. I buy the Green Apple Ghost at least 3 days a week.
Fire.
They only come in a 16. I wish they came in a smaller size. So I do buy some 16s. But even then, I'll be at work and I'll be drinking my first Green Apple Ghost of the day, and I'll throw it away with this much left in the can.
So, Nick, is it hard for you to buy a 12-ounce can about the same price as a 16 and then be like, you know what, I'm excited to buy this? but I'm still paying the same price as I would with a 16 ounce.
You know, for me particularly, and not everybody probably feels this way, but for me particularly, like say a 16 ounce can is $3, $3.99, right? If they offered it the same, if they offered like, you know, a Ghost are about $3-4. If that same Ghost was a 12 ounce can and it was $3.50, $4, I personally am cool with it.
All right.
I think in a realistic world, if it's a lesser product or a smaller product, it should be more affordable. But I prefer the smaller size. I'd rather buy 2 12s and need them both that day than not finish a 16. Because I almost never drink a whole 16. Like I said,
Wow.
it'll get to about here.
Yeah.
And then by that
And
time,
then you're
it's
like,
been
you
so
know what?
long that it's flat, it's kind of warm. I toss it. And
Okay.
so then I buy another 16 because it's all there's available for most brands. And the second one, I barely get halfway through it. You know, so I would rather buy 2 12 ounces and need both of them
Right.
than buy a 16 and not finish it. Because then at that point, I feel like I'm throwing away money anyways.
Right.
So
I
if
see
it's
what
the
you're saying.
same price, me personally, I'm like, whatever, fuck it, I'll eat that. It should be $1 cheaper if it's a 12 ounce can versus a 16 can.
Honestly, it should be.
Yeah.
For me, I drink at least 2 a day.
Yeah.
2 16 ounces, easy. And then a lot of the time I'm like, I could use a little more, but not 16 ounces.
Right.
I could use another 12. So I could use 2 16s and a 12. Perfect way to finish my day.
Yeah.
Because I drive truck and I'm just like having to stay awake driving the truck. And I'm like, I just slowly sip on a 16.
Yeah.
But having that extra 12 is nice. So what's your thoughts? Let us know below. Do you like the 16s, the 12s, the 8s? Do you
The
like
19s,
the big
the
boys?
20s, the
The
30s.
fucking BFCs?
A 44 ounce.
A big, I mean, like, what's your preference? Here you have 2 of us who are completely opposite. He likes the smaller cans.
Yeah.
I like the bigger cans, honestly.
I mean, even Red Bull,
They're
when
better.
I do dabble in Red Bull, more often than not, I'll buy 2 8-ounces.
And Red Bull's kind of odd because they have these odd numbers. They go like 12,
8.4, 12,
9,
right.
yeah, 12 9s, 16 7s, or whatever the hell they have. They have a big variety of different types of can sizes, which I don't really understand. But they are European, so that kind of makes sense.
Well, and
Over
if you
there,
and
they're
if you look at
different.
if you Google like foreign Red Bull or Red Bull in other countries, they make every shape and size, glass, can,
Flavor?
plastic, cardboard.
Their flavors are crazy over there.
Fucking every variation you could possibly think of. I think more of these brands that are trying to have a dedicated fan base and a dedicated normal customer base should offer more sizes. That
So
is my-
Monster, put your Reserve series in the 12-ounce cans. You'd probably make a lot more money.
If these
Because-
came in a 12 or a 8, 9, I would buy this.
man.
I would buy this.
Just
I
mean,
cannot
come on.
see myself buying this in a 16 ounce can. I just
And
can't.
I can understand that because it's a lot of money for this big can. And if you lower the price by $1, just one, or even 50 cents.
50 cents, 75 cents.
You're getting a smaller can. You don't have to commit to such a big can and throw half of it away, like you said.
Yep.
You can enjoy that and be like, you know what? I didn't like it. Or maybe you love it and you buy another one. It's
Yep.
whatever. So there's our thoughts on that. Scores, Nick. What do you got on this peaches and cream?
It's very good. It is very heavy, but I'm not really going to weigh that against it too much because it is what it's supposed to be.
It is.
It's very good. It tastes exactly like peaches and cream.
And the monster, like the monster edge of this,
I'm gonna
doesn't
give it-
really pop out.
I'm going to give it an 8.5.
Right on.
Yeah. Peaches, while I do enjoy peach drinks, it is not my favorite flavor. But this says it's peaches and cream. It is peaches and
cream.
fucking cream. It's dead on.
And for being peaches and cream and monster, you don't really get that monster kind of weird flavor that
No.
a lot of them have.
Yep.
That I've noticed. This one is more peaches and the cream side of it, which is really nice to have.
Yeah.
So I'm going to give this one an 8.6. I really like this one. So if you want to try it, we definitely
We can both
recommend
highly recommend this
it.
drink.
Definitely.
Absolutely. If
and,
you're a peach boy, you're going to fucking love this drink.
and it's probably going to go away soon because this Reserve series has been switching out every quarter
Constantly, yeah.
They've been dropping new stuff the last 2 years.
Which is cool.
I do like
They
that.
cannot, it is unrealistic. They cannot keep every flavor they drop. As much as one of them might be your favorite and you're like, I wish they just had it all the time. I've felt that way many times over the years about many
Yeah.
different drinks, but the reality is like they are a business. There is an overhead cost.
They have to
things
keep-
have to rotate. Things have to leave. So if you are a Monster Boy or if you're a peach flavored guy, Get this now.
Now's the time.
Go try it.
Yeah.
If you like it, grab a flat of them. You know, you can grab a 12 or 16 of them or whatever in a flat for $20-$25. That would be my recommendation.
In a couple years, this will be a relic on your shelf.
Absolutely.
If you're a collector, which I've seen a lot of collections on
yeah.
Instagram, people
yeah.
collect the shit out of monster stuff. So there's our thoughts, guys. Let us know below.
Speaking of collectors, speaking of things, I've been really interested. We've talked about this a little bit behind the scenes. I would really like... Now, it's expensive. And for those of you who don't know, we don't make any money on this channel.
We do not.
At this point. We have a couple sponsor deals that help us get product and things like that, which we really appreciate, especially the local ones. Thank you. Shout out to all you guys that help us out. But we don't make money on the show. So everything you see on the show, we spend money on.
We do.
Including,
I bought.
Including the drink, the microphone, the camera, everything we spend money on. So it's expensive for us. But I've been very interested in trying more foreign drinks, things that I have to buy and import to myself. There's a grape flavored Red Bull in Japan right now. There's, you know, all over the world in different markets. Like if you go to a Burger King in fucking Europe, it's a completely different menu for the most part. So I would like to start dabbling not only in energy drinks, but like beers imported from other countries, which is expensive and hard. You got to jump through some legal hoops. Is that something that interests you guys? I don't want us to spend the money and invest in that just because we think it's a cool idea if you guys aren't interested in seeing that. So if it's something you're interested in, drop a comment down below like, hey, we'd like to see more drinks from things we don't normally get or normally see. Yeah. And we'll make that investment for you.
And if you're in one of those countries that has something you haven't seen on the show,
hit us up.
Hit us up. Maybe we'll work something and you can send it to us.
Absolutely.
I got the great opportunity when I was on deployment to overseas. I was on deployment and I shot a bunch of review videos on their energy drinks there.
Yeah.
It was really cool to taste all the different flavors they had, which were 99%
Red Bull knockoffs.
knockoffs.
Yeah.
Because Red Bull owns 99% of those companies.
Right.
But it was really cool to taste and see the different energy drinks they had.
Sure. 1 liter bottles.
Liter bottles.
Yeah, dude.
What?
Yeah.
So, and of course, the beers and everything over there are completely opposite of what we have in the States. So if you are over there overseas and you're like, hey, here's one I haven't seen, you guys should try this. Hit us up on Instagram or on Facebook. We'd love to try it.
Yeah, send us a message. Shoot a comment down below. Is that something you're interested in? We're willing to make that investment if it's something that the viewers want to see.
Definitely, for sure.
So
yeah, we'll help cover costs.
Let us know. Hit that subscribe button. It helps tremendously. If you don't feel like subscribing, but you liked what you saw here, hit like. The algorithm loves that stuff. It's the most important thing you could do for us. We're trying to grow, trying to get out in front of more people. The whole point of this is, you know, one of it's for fun. We're getting to make cool content with our friends. But it's also like, what should you spend money on? What should you try? What should you not try? What should you avoid? And that's what we're trying to do here. So hit subscribe, hit like. We'll see you guys in the next one.
Thanks for watching.
All right.